Alright, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So I know this is a pretty different video than I'm used to uploading. I'm going to be showing y'all today how I basically make money in the Forex market. I got turned on to this by some people I graduated from high school with, and I'm just now starting to get somewhat really profitable and really a lot more consistent than I've ever been before. And I figured also, since I have this YouTube channel with a somewhat big of an audience, I keep saying somewhat a lot, but yeah, since I have this YouTube channel, I could show you guys who are interested in how I, pretty much make money from the markets on a regular basis. If any of it doesn't make sense to y'all, because I know it won't make sense to every single person, feel free to reach out to me personally. My Instagram is going to be down in the left-hand corner of the screen, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't want this to be too long of a video. It was June 3rd. I first identified that it was an uptrend. You can just look and see that we're generally going in the up direction. And to confirm this, we can take our trend line tool and let's see. We've got a low here, then it rallied up to make a high right here. As you guys can see where the crosshairs are. You've got a low, then a high, and what goes up must come down. So it corrected to the downside, making a higher low. All right, and after that, after the correction, it shot up some more. So after the higher low, we have a higher high. After the higher high, what did I say before? What goes up must come down. So it came down to correct here, making a higher low, and then we spiked up once again to make a higher high. And then this is exactly where I took the trade at. Let me see. Yeah, the 3rd of June right here. This was at, I think, noon that day that I saw this. But yeah, it made this high point. And then what goes up must come down. Remember that. So it came down, making a higher low. And once I saw this, I was pretty much all in. This is where I entered the trade. I went into my trading execution software, MetaTrader 4, and I put the trades in. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, but yeah, if that didn't make sense, just go back, rewatch the video, take a picture of this, make some notes, do whatever you have to do. Just understand the basic concept that we're in an uptrend, and uptrends make lows, highs, then higher lows, then higher highs, and so forth and so on until they reverse to make a downtrend. But we're only worried about uptrends this video, so yeah, make sure you understand that before you go any further in the video. But yeah, once I figured and I identified the uptrend, I looked and saw that there was a more precise trend, and what I did is I took my trend line tool and I kind of just went at the bottom of the wicks here, and as you guys can see, the wicks are basically the skinny lines that are under and above the candles. And once I identified this this more precise trend, I kind of did the same thing, and I saw there was a low that rallied up to make a high, then a higher low, then a higher high, then eventually a higher low, which is right here where I took the trade. And after making this higher low, it did the same thing. It made a higher high right afterwards, as you guys can see in the past that it had been doing. This is exactly what I saw, you guys, when I was going to execute this trade. So I'll just delete this. Make sure y'all take a picture of this again. Make sure y'all understand it. Write some notes. Do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm going to delete it really quick and show you guys what I saw next. So yeah, here's the more precise trend I was talking about earlier, where the low points hit the trend line. And I figured that once it hit the next time, because it already hit a few times right here, and I figured the next time it was going to hit this trend line, it was going to be what we said before, a higher low. And I'll just show you guys, it was exactly that. You had the low, which rallied up to make a high. Then here's literally, guys, our higher low right here. And once I saw that it made that higher low, it made a higher high, which is basically our #1 rule for an uptrend. And all of this, these two really long bars is where I, made the money that night. Initial investment of $100, meaning the money I put in first was $100, and all this made me $300, bringing my total to $400 and something dollars in the account. I'll leave a screenshot, and it'll be in the title of the thumbnail somewhere so you guys know. But that's not the only confirmation I used. I went to the low right here, and I took this tool. It'll be over here on the left side for you guys if y'all have never went to this website, which by the way is called tradingview.com. It's totally free to make an account and all that. You just have to sign up and make a password. But I use the Fibonacci retracement tool, which is going to be right here on, you know, the third tab down, the third box. So I used that, and I went to this low and I measured all the way to the top of the higher high. All right. And like I said before, like a couple minutes ago, I expected it to come back down to make a higher low, which it did, and it went up. And what the Fibonacci retracement does is basically measures the percentage of your retracement. And the way I trade, I always use the 61.8% and the 78.6%, which you guys can see on the right side. It's also going to be a red line and a the pink horizontal lines you guys can see here. But yeah, I looked to take my buy orders at the 61.8 and the 78.6 retracement level for this strategy, and I just waited for it to make a higher low. I waited for it to also touch the trend line, and I also waited for it to touch the levels, the 61.8 and or the 61.8 and the 78.6. I waited for those levels. So I used 3 confirmations for this trade. Never enter a trade if you don't have more than, I say, 2, because you just want multiple things lining up before you take a trade, at least in my experience. But yeah, so indicator number 1, uptrend, precise uptrend, which is our red trend line right here. Indicator number 2 is our Fibonacci tool. You guys can see I measured it from the low to the high, and it came back, made a lower low, touched our trend line. All right. And indicator number 3 is we have, you know, a low, which rallies up to a high. Then we have a higher low, then a higher high, and a higher low, which basically right there is our money shot. Once we see that higher low and it hits the retracement levels and the trend line all at once, it's game over. You can put in your trades. But yeah, I didn't really want this to be too long of a video. That's pretty much how I did it, turning the 100 into 400 and something. I'll leave a screenshot like I said. But yeah, man, 12 hours, 300% return, because let's see. As you guys can see at the clock right here, this was 4 a.m. on June 4th, and it actually ended up hitting the 78.6 at around 4 a.m. and then all through the morning it went up. And guys, one more confirmation I forgot to mention is the 3-pin pattern right here. So it touched the trend line 3 times right here, 1, 2, 3, as y'all can see. It also touched the 78.6 retracement level 3 times, and you guys can see like the long wicks. We as traders call that a 3-pin pattern. That's also a really good confirmation that after the 3-pin pattern, it's gonna shoot in the opposite direction, which would be up here, and it did exactly that. Like I said, my Instagram is down in the left-hand corner. If y'all have any questions, don't feel free to, you know, reach out to me. I'm willing to help out anybody that comes my way, because I know times are hard and whatnot, and people are trying to find ways for extra money and all that good stuff. And no, I'm not sitting here saying, yes, you need to go trade. It's the only. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just telling y'all that this is what I choose to do for some extra cash, and it works, and I understand it, and hopefully I can convey some of that to you guys. So like I said, leave a like rating on the video. It'll mean a lot. It'll help the video get out to a lot of people. Subscribe to the channel if y'all are new. Hit me up on Instagram. Leave any comments, questions, whatever down there. And yeah, man, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Peace.